Wendy at Buchwalter Greenhouse, and it is Japanese beetle season. And you'll often see a lot of people hanging up these little beetle bags. So we're going to talk about how best to get rid of beetles, Japanese beetles in your garden today, as well as options for doing that. Japanese beetles are an invasive species, and they will lay their eggs in the ground. Becomes a little larva stage, is like what we call a grub. And the grubs, they're kind of whitish, weird, kind of black looking head on them. And they feed on the roots of your grass. So a lot of times if you have brown patches showing up in your lawn, you might have grubs. So that's their larval stage. And then that happens usually in early spring, late spring, I'd say late spring. And then they will emerge as Japanese beetles come July. And that's when you start to see these emerald green and brown shiny bugs showing up on all the flowers that you just so diligently took care of, and they're beautiful, and then they start chewing on them. A lot of people tend to go for the beetle bags. So these, how these work there is a little scent pack that comes with it and a lure, and the two of those work together to attract the beetles. They think it's a flower, they think there's other beetles there to mate, and they hit this yellow panel and fall down into the bag, and they're not smart enough typically to get back out. So they get trapped in here, and then eventually this is full and you throw it away. This lure is pretty powerful. I once set this up and I accidentally touched it. Within probably maybe 2-3 minutes, I had beetles flying at me. So maybe wear gloves if you're going to use this setup. It is not recommended to put this by your flowers. You want to put it away, often on the edge of your property, because this is like an ice cream truck for Japanese beetles. It calls everybody. It calls them from your neighbors and from everywhere else. So because of that, it's not my favorite. Is it trapping them and killing them without using any pesticides? Yes. So that is one option, is the beetle traps. Another option is to topically treat your plants. And really, they're not hard to kill with sprays or dusts. You probably have something already in your garden shed that you can use listed for Japanese beetles. But I'm just going to go over some of our most popular options. And a lot of these are natural or organic. So this first one is a natural option, and it's just called Japanese Beetle Killer. If you look down into the active ingredients, which is the really tiny print towards the bottom of the label, you'll see that its main active ingredient is pyrethrins. So that is actually made from chrysanthemum flowers. And it is a natural way to kill bugs. And this will also kill more than just Japanese beetles. So you can spray it on your plants, and if it comes in contact with them, they immediately start freaking out. They'll fall off and they'll lay on their backs and kind of, wail their legs in the air until they're dead. The only thing with pyrethrins is it does break down in sunlight. So, and also to protect any pollinators, we do recommend spraying either very early in the morning or very late in the evening. So, option one, Japanese Beetle Killer. Option number two, this is 8. 8 is, if you ever heard of 7, this is like 7, but it's a different formula. It's a more updated makeup, and it's available in a powder or a spray. So this, you can puff it onto your plants. The nice thing about the dust is you can see exactly where it's being covered, and it's not going to have the sunlight affect it like some of your oils can. So a dust is another great way to protect your plants. And then we also have Captain Jack's, the original dead bug brew. This is spinosad. So this is a microorganism that will infect their digestive systems, and because they stop eating, eventually they die. So it's not an immediate kill, but they will immediately stop eating. One year I used this on our corn, and it was interesting. Like, they just stopped moving, but they stayed on there a few days, and eventually, but they weren't eating anything else. So eventually they dropped off and died. So this would be a natural and organic way to treat beetles in your garden. And then finally, we also have neem oil. Neem Max is a cold pressed neem oil. So this is the best kind of neem oil you can get. It oftentimes with regular neem oil, they will heat it up, and in that heating process, the good stuff separates, and they'll take it off the top, and that is used for one product, and then what's left of the neem oil is sold as regular neem oil. So cold pressed, it's not cooked or heated up at all. It has all of those great ingredients still together. Because it is an oil, even though it's organic, know that when you spray it, you don't want to do it during the day or really sunny days, because the oil will magnify the sunlight on the leaves of the plant. So you can possibly burn the leaves of your plant because it is an oil. So this is one. It's a cloudy day. Again, ideally early morning, late in the evening, you could spray it. But if the forecast is looking really sunny, I would go for one of these other options instead. So that's all about Japanese beetles. And I wouldn't say all about, I could keep talking about them. There's a lot to learn about them. But hopefully this gives you some weapons in your garden arsenal to take care of those. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll do our best to help you out.